Yeah, thanks, Hayter. Thanks for having me out here on this nice sunny day here in Carberry, Manitoba. As you said, my name is Dennis Lang. I'm the Provincial Pulse Specialist with the Manitoba Agriculture and Resource Development. We're standing here in front of the McVet Field Pea trial. This is one of 9 sites that we have across the province. And at these sites, the main things that we're looking for is we're looking for yield, being number one. We also take maturity readings at these sites as well. And just to help you determine which varieties are earlier and which varieties are later. We do have some lodging scores that we're presenting in the seed guide as well. And when Hayter and his group are collecting the yield and other information in the fall, I compile all the data for Seed Manitoba, and you'll see that information in this year's guide. It's always good though to come out at this time of the year when the crop is maturing down, because you can really see differences in maturity between different varieties. Peas are very similar in maturity between the different varieties that they have until you start getting into some of the forage pea lines, which are a bit longer, can be a bit longer season, so they remain greener a little bit longer. In this particular trial, we have both yellow peas, green peas, and we have some forage peas varieties as well, and we take these all to yield. All this data you'll see in the fall and in the seed guide, and also what we do is we take protein data on this as well. So we'll collect samples from these plots and we'll analyze it for protein, and that protein data will be found on the Seed Manitoba website at seedmanitoba.ca. So one of the other things that we found here at the CMDC site here in Carberry, Manitoba, and we're seeing that a lot around the province this year as well, is number one, the peas are maturing quite quickly this year with the dry conditions that we've had and the lack of moisture. One of the things that we've seen on this hot, dry year that we've had this past year is we're seeing kind of what we call sterile mutant plants. So if you look into the canopy here, you might see the odd one in here where they stand out like a sore thumb. The plants are still grass green. Some of those plants don't have any pods on them. Some of them do. I've done a bit of research into this, talking to a few of the breeders. One of the things they've found in these hot, dry years when the plant's under extreme dry stress conditions is it affects the way the pollen pollinates the plant, and you get these pods that are maybe misformed or almost not even formed at all with very little seed. So even though we've seen a lot earlier maturing crop this year than what we've seen in past years, because we're early August right now, and when you look across the plots here, everything is pretty much mature, which considering these were planted in kind of mid-May time period, is still fairly early. But I'm still looking and still hopeful that we're going to get some respectable yields out of these plots. Provincially, yields have been kind of all over the board. We've seen crops as low as 15 to 20 bushels on field peas this year, and we've seen some upwards in the 50 bushel range, depending on the rainfall. And even though peas are a crop that is very water use efficient, they still need moisture to fill properly, and this year it's just been a little bit on the drier side. But overall, we're pretty happy with what we see so far.